we will start. But before we start, do we have anyone who have question in particular with regards to what we did on Tuesday? Because I also tried to cover the some of the questions with zero over here. I'm just not sure about Colin and Langelihle, but also you, Zira, do you have a question in particular?
Ma'am, I just wanted to ask you, all of these questions were on the same graph, like all like 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, and 6 were all on the same graph.
We're all on the same graph. Wait, I don't understand you. These are corrections. I'm just gonna delete that and delete that too. Yes, Zira USA.
So, ma'am, what I'm trying to say is here, for question A, right,
Hmm?
were the whole, so like let's say question 1, question 2, question 3, all of these questions, were they all on the same graph?
On the same set of axes, yes. I think that's the question that you're trying to ask. You're asking if all these graphs that we having here, wait, that we are having here, they should be on the same set of axes. So this is y, this is x. So you're gonna have these type of graphs, and you're gonna name them y is equal to x, y is equal to 2x, y is equal to 4x, and is that what you're asking?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. How did you do it? Was each and every graph on its own set of axes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So basically when they say you should sketch your graph on the same set of axes or the lines on the same set of axes, they simply mean that you must use one Cartesian, one the y and the x axis, and to draw everything that would have been listed under the question, right? Like for this one, that means we're gonna have about 11 graphs on one set of axes, all right? So that means for each and every graph that you draw, you have to make sure that it is on sorry, that it is have sorry, you have to make sure that it does have a label so that we can be able to tell that but this graph is y equal to x, this graph is y equal to minus x, this graph is what you see. In case maybe let's say for example you'd find this is like over 11 marks, or yeah, let's just say 11 marks. Maybe some of them you'd get them right and some of them you get wrong. But if they don't have the labels, then everything is wrong, because how am I going to know that this graph is line y is equal to x, or this line is y equal to minus 4x, or y minus is equal to minus 5x? Do you guys get my point?
Yes.
Yes, so the first thing that you need to do, guys, is to make sure that you understand the question. So if you understand the question, it will be easier for you to answer the question, all right? And it will save a lot of things, like it will not cost you mark, right? And let's look at this one. But before we look at it, do you guys remember what I said is the difference between the table method and the dual intercept method when we are sketching a graph?
Yes, ma'am.
Did I say? What did I say? Zero?
You said that the y is equal to 0, and then you would figure out what x would be by y equaling to 0, and then you would and then after when you finished that that part, then you would say that x is equal to 0, and then you would figure out what y is, and those would be your coordinates.
Yes, it'll be your coordinates, but that's not the difference between the two methods, right? So I said the difference between the two methods, which is the dual intercept and also the table method, is that for table method you use table to get the coordinates, and then for dual intercept method you make use of the y, finding the y-intercept and the x-intercept, and then you'd get your sorry your coordinates. Okay, so that is the biggest difference. So the other one use the table, the other one use the intercept. You find the x-intercept and the y-intercept, right? Remember, for your y-intercept, your x is equal to 0. Your x-intercept, your y is equal to 0. That's the vice versa, all right? So that means on the graph, when you're using the dual intercept on the graph, there should be a point where the line touches or passes through the y-axis, and then there should be a time where that very same line passes or cuts the x-axis. That would be your x-intercept, where your x is equal to 0. Are we good? Are we fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, hey, okay. Okay, let me do this. Okay, fine. So we're gonna start with A. But before we start with A, let me try on the side to have line, okay? Mm-hmm. This is oh no, this is my graph. Okay. Mm, okay, let's have, oh no. Okay. I'm trying to make sure that I have like a perfect graph over here. And oh no, I moved it by mistake. Okay, so this is my one, two, two. Mm, okay, let's do the very same thing on this line. So we can have like a properly drawn graph. Is that? Mm-mm. Are you guys still there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay. So, what do we do? Yes. Okay. It's now found my pen, so it's going to be one, two, three, four. One, one. Where's the back thing? Here, so it's one, two, two, two. Yes. Okay. I think this is better. What do you guys think? This is my y0. This is my y axis. This is my y, and this is my x, right? And this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my negative. So let me try to write them instead. So this is my positive one. This is two. This is three. This is four. This is five. Okay, and this is minus one. Mm, this is minus. Oh no, this is minus one. So let's start with minus one, minus two, minus three over here, and minus four, minus five, minus six. Yes, that's it. So I'm gonna come here again. This is my minus one. This is the y-axis, okay? The minus two, that is a two. Then minus, okay. This is a minus three, minus four, hmm, minus five, and I'm just gonna wipe this over here. Minus five, and then this is minus six, okay. And let's go up here. And then up here we have one. It's positive. Oh no. I think I missed something. Okay. This is my positive one. This is gosh. This is positive one, two, three. Wipe this. Mm, four, five, and lastly, I'm gonna have my six over here, which is here. So this is six and this is x-axis, okay? So that means all the graphs that we're going to be drawing, everyone, is going to be on this very same x-axis. That's why I wanted it to be like a bit perfect, right? And let's go to the first one. So the first one, they say sketch the following lines on the same set of axes using the table method. So when you use a table method, that means you're going to make use of a table to get your coordinates, right? And I said to you guys that you can choose as many x values as possible so that you can get like many x many coordinates, because if you have your x values, then it will be easier for you to get your y values. And we are picking the x values so that we can get the y values, because y is variable, right? Y depend on the x, right? In this case, let's start with the first one, which is y is equal to x. And that means we're going to pick, I advised you guys to pick minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, and 2, right? 1 and 2 are positive, and minus 1 and minus 2, okay? So I'm going to make a table on the right side, and my table will consist of the x values. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5. Then we have what? We have x. I'm just going to put x here. I'm going to put my y here. Then when x is equal to minus 2, when x is equal to minus 1, when x is equal to 0, when x is equal to 1, when x is equal to 2, right? So because your formula, not necessarily a formula, but your line here has what? Has this formula y is equal to x. So now, if your y is equal to your x, so that means there's no need for you to calculate, because that means if they say y is equal to x, so that means that very same x value that you got will be the very same y value, right? So I'm just going to copy everything here. So that means for my coordinates, I'm going to have -2 and -2, -1 and -1, 0 and 0, 1 and 1, 2 and 2. Remember, you can always put them like this, -2 and -2, -1 and -1, and then 0 and 0, and 1 and 1, and 2 and 2, right? 2 and 2. These are the coordinates of line y is equal to x. So I'm going to come to my graph over here, and then I have my points. So I know that I have a 1, I mean a 2, a -2 and -2, right? So I'm just going to zoom my graph, see where they meet. It seems like they meet just here. I'm just gonna put point here, right? And then we also have a 1 and 1, so I'm just gonna zoom here so that my point is gonna be um, a bit straight. So I have 1 and 1, which is more like here, okay? And then I have a 0 and 0. So basically what we are doing now, we are plotting, right? So this is 0 and 0, which is the origin point, okay? And then we have a +1, which is here and here. And we also have a +2, which is going to be somewhere here, if I'm correct. Oh no, somewhere here. And that's like this. So now that you've pointed the points, what you need to do is to connect the coordinates with a line using the ruler, okay? It doesn't look so straight, but yeah, so this is how it's gonna be. So let's use different colors to actually draw the graphs, because it's gonna be many of them. Let's use purple, and let's increase this maybe. Yes, yes. And this is going to be my what? This is going to be my, I wanna remove the ruler. This is going to be my y. Why am I using this? Y is equal to x. And this is how you get yourself a first mark for sketching this graph. So you can put this arrow here to show that it continues and continues, right? Do we have any question? Let me check who's in here. Okay. Language Colin 0.
Ma'am, may you please repeat your question?
Guys, are you still there?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And did you guys understand?
Yes.
Colin, did you understand? I don't think you're with me here because I can't hear you. Did you understand, Colin?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Um, let's see. So the next one, let's see. The next one is y is equal to 2x. So I'm gonna go to my table because I don't want to draw many tables, but you should draw the tables, right? I'm gonna go to my table and try to wipe the other ones off. All right, and uh, oh no, I'm not wiping this. I'm just wiping the y values because we're gonna use the same x values because we're using the table method, and I'm gonna go to this. So my y is equal to minus 2x or positive is equal to 2x. Okay. So now I'm gonna do the same thing. Okay, this is no longer important. We are done with it. So I'm just gonna wipe it off. Right. What's happening to my device? No. Okay. Now let's do this. So my y is equal to minus 2, open bracket, minus 2. That would be my first y value, okay? My second y value is going to be y equal to minus 2, minus 2. Oh, sorry guys, it's not minus. Why am I under the impression that my y is 2 into that, and then 2 into minus 1. Again, we have y is equal to 2 into 0. And again, we have y is equal to 2 into positive 1. And again, we have y is equal to 2 into positive 2. What is the first y value? Colin, what's going to be the y value when our x is equal to minus 2? Okay, 0.
Now the first value will be negative 4.
Minus 4, negative 4.
Then negative 2. Then 0.
Negative 2. Yeah. 0.
Then 2 and 4.
Then 2 and 4. Now we have our points. Our points now are, or the coordinates are minus 2 and minus 4, minus 2 and, minus 1 and minus 2. We have 0 and 0. We have 1 and 2. We also have 2 and 4. Okay. So the next thing that you're going to do is to go to your Cartesian plane, the very same one, the same set of axes, and plot the points or plot the coordinates, right? Let's go to our Cartesian plane. Let's use black for now to plot, and we'll pick a color after. Black, yes. So our point is minus 1, minus 2 and minus 4. So our x is -2, and then our y is -4. So that means it's going to be somewhere here, somewhere here, somewhere here, right? And again, we have a -1 and a 2. A -1 and a 2 will be somewhere here, okay? I think we also have a 0 and a 0, right? Do we? Do we have a 0 and a 0? Yes, we absolutely do. So I'm just gonna point my point here. And again we have 1 and +2, which is going to be somewhere here. Let's see. Yes. Wait. Yes, yes. It's gonna be somewhere here. And then again we're gonna have what? We're gonna have a +2 and a 4, which is going to be somewhere here, which is going to be somewhere here. Right? And the next thing that you're gonna do now is to sketch the graph. Are you guys still with me?
Yes.
Are we still together? No. And the next thing that you're gonna do is to connect the coordinates. Let's see, let's see. Let me try to connect. And you're gonna connect the point just like that. Mhm. Like that. Let's see. Oh no, what did I do? Oh my Sheila. Okay, cool. Just like that. So now we're gonna go to my favorite part, which is picking a color. And this time around, I'm just gonna take a red. What color is this? Yes, I'm gonna take that one. And we just draw our graph. And so that means I pointed that wrongly. Okay, which doesn't really matter that much. Let's see. And this is my y is equal to 2x. Is everyone happy?
Yes.
Is everybody happy? Look how cute it is. Isn't it cute, guys?
Yes, ma'am, it is cute, ma'am.
Okay. So you see what they meant by um same set of eggs is 0. So all the graphs are going to be here. So at the end, it will be like a messy thing, like because it will have like many colors or many lines if you're using same color with all these names of the graphs and everything, right? And let's see. Do we have any questions so far? Any question? Do we have any questions?
No, ma'am.
No question. Okay, the other guys?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. And let's see. Langelihle, is that you?
Yes, ma'am, it's me.
Okay, let's have you um give us the coordinates for number 3, and also take us through how would you draw the line y is equal to 3x. Did you hear that?
Yes, ma'am, I heard.
Yeah. I'm all ears.
Ma'am, should I tell you now or do you want me to work it out, ma'am?
No, I want you to tell me. Please tell me.
Ma'am, for x, ma'am, you start writing in the column 2, start writing -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Then, wait, ma'am, may you please go back to the y, ma'am? I want to see the,
You want to see the what?
and what question am I doing?
3. Okay. All right.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, ma'am, next thing you'll write, ma'am, is
Mm-hmm.
y equals -2 bracket -2 close bracket.
Yes.
Then the answer will be 4 for y. +4.
It will be what?
+4.
How is it positive, Khalid? I'm sorry, Langelihle.
Then because you times -2 by -2, ma'am.
-2. Your line graph is, we are doing number 3, not 6, ne?
Ma'am.
Ne?
Then you write y equals 3 bracket -2 close bracket. Then the answer we'll get is -6.
Mm-hmm.
Then next we're gonna write y equals 3 bracket -1 close bracket. The answer will be -3.
-3. Mm-hmm.
Then you write y equals 3 bracket 0 close bracket. Then the answer will be 0. Then
Yes.
next to write y equals 3 bracket 1 close bracket. The answer will be 3, +3.
+3. Mm-hmm.
Then next to write y equals 3 bracket 2 close bracket. Then your answer will be +6.
+6. Mm-hmm.
And then that's all, man.
That's all. And then what's the next thing that we need to do?
Then the graph, man.
Mm-hmm. How are we going to draw our graph?
Mm. Ma'am, may you please explain the graph for me, ma'am? I don't seem to understand, ma'am.
What?
I
Then,
don't believe I don't believe I understand the graph, ma'am.
okay, so for the graph, these are coordinates that you found langedite, right? So for the graph, um, if you don't understand the table, this is what you can do. You can say you have -2 and -6. So you're gonna go to, this is the first one, right? So you're gonna go to your graph where you have -2 as your x value and you have -6 as your y value. All right. So you're gonna go to the graph and try to check for -2. This is your x. This is line x, right? This is line x, and this is line y. This is y-axis, right? So you're gonna go to your graph and say, okay, where's my -1? This is my -1. And where is my -6 as a y value? My -6 is over here. So you're gonna draw a line like this. If you don't understand a line like this, okay? So you see, that means they meet where? They meet here. Do you see that? And then again, what do you have? You're gonna go to the table. Yes, you're gonna go to the table. We have -1 and -3. Okay, minus. Sorry, I think I made a mistake. I was right. -2 and 6, not 1. So this is 3. So that means the point is going to be here, and then for this -2 and -6, you're gonna have a line like this going that way. So that means they meet here. So it's gonna be here. And then again, you're going to have a 0 and a 0, which is this one over here. You point it. And again, you have what? You have 1 and +3. So this is, sorry, this is my 1 and this is my 3, and they meet where? Let's see. They meet here. Okay. And again, I have a +2 and 6. This is my 2x as an x value, and this is my 6. So it's gonna be somewhere, oh no, not there, but a bit to the right. Somewhere here. All right. Yes, somewhere here. And then the next thing that you're gonna do, now that you have your your coordinates being pointed on this. So now you're gonna do what? You're gonna take the ruler and connect the dots, right? So this is how the graph is gonna be. A the graph is gonna be like this. Okay, because my coordinates and I mean my x my axis is not so correct with the values, so this is not going to be as accurate as I would like it to be. Then you're going to go to the changing colors. Let's pick this one over here and let's connect. And then when we, oh no, what did I do? Okay, I think I just moved it a bit. So when we draw, it's going to be like this. And then I can say y is equal to y is equal to 3x. Oh, was it minus? It was positive. So y is equal to 3x. Do you now get it? Langelisha?
Yes, ma'am. I believe I understand, ma'am.
Do you really understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's good. Um, let's go to Colin. Colin, let's have you do number 4. Sketch that one for us. Number 4. Colin, are you still there? Okay, I don't know what's happening with Colin over there. Maybe it's her mic. Now let's move to Zira, number 4. Oh, yes, number 4 for Zira.
So ma'am, for number 4,
Mm.
x is for my table is x is equal to negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. For negative 2, my y value is equal to minus 8.
Mm-hmm.
Minus 8, minus 4, 0, 4, and 8.
Okay, so we have your y values, which are remember, okay, let me try to remove this or replace the 3 with a 4. So y is equal to 4x. So said we're going to substitute y is equal to 4 into minus 2, and you said you got what? You got minus 8, so that means your y value is going to be minus 8. So when your x is equal to minus 2, your y is equal to minus 8. And then we're going to have minus 4, 0, positive 4, and positive 8. Okay, now these are the coordinates. Yes, you can continue, Zira.
Then for plotting them, my coordinates for the first one is negative 2 and negative 8.
Hmm?
Yeah, so I'm going to plot them down.
Minus 2 and minus 8. So we have minus 2 and we don't have 8 here. So I'm just going to have my line here. Okay, so this is going to be obviously my minus 7 and minus 8 over here. So you said, what do we have? Minus 2 and minus 8. Here's my minus over here. Minus 2 and minus 8 over here. Hey, let me use this instead. Yes, and what do we have again? Minus 1 and minus 4, which is going to be somewhere here. And we have a 0 and a 0, right? So that one. And we have a positive 1 and positive 4, right? Which is going to be somewhere here. And again, we have positive 2 and positive 8, which is going to be somewhere here. And this is probably a mistake, so I'm just going to wipe it off here. Right, so it was supposed to be a point. Oh, look at me. Okay, this is my y. And the next thing, you're going to connect the points. And let's try to pick a color. Let's take green. And I'm going to take my ruler there to connect the points. So let's see. Yes, like this. I'm gonna have my graph like this over here, but like that. And what is that? This is my y is equal to 3 3x 3x. Why is my x not? Wait. Yes. So this is my y Actually, it's 0 y is equal to 3x. Do we have any question? Do you look, do you see that this graph is starting to get messy? Do you guys see that? Like we have y is equal to x, y is equal to 2x, y is equal to 3x. Or actually, this is a 4x. Y is equal to 4x. Do you guys see that it's starting to get messy? Now imagine if now you had to draw a whole lot of these graphs that we're not gonna complete, and how messy it'll look after. Okay, do we have any question on A? Langelihle, are you good?
Yes, ma'am. Fine,
Uh,
ma'am.
Zira and Khalid, do you guys have any question?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay, now let's look at B. Let's try to do B. So B says sketch the following lines on the same set of axes using the dual intercept method. Do you guys remember how to use the dual intercept method? So basically, you're gonna take the this you're gonna take your formula, which is your graph over there, y is equal to x plus 1, and then you're gonna try to check for your x-intercept and your y-intercept. Y-intercept and x-intercept. Langelita, do you remember what we said about this? The x-intercept and the y-intercept when we started the lesson just today.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I remember it, ma'am. I remember.
What did we say?
Remember when you say intercept, ma'am, are we still
Mm.
talking about the the graph or just talking about a separate thing, ma'am?
When we talk about the intercept or the x-intercept or the y-intercept, we are talking about where does the line cuts the x-axis for x-intercept, and then for y-intercept, we are talking about where does the line cuts the y-axis. That means I said, okay, let me try to check with Zira before I answer you. Zira, do you remember what we said about the intercept?
You don't use a table.
You don't use it. Oh, that's good. And
And your x, when you're solving for y, your x is equal to 0. And then when you're solving for x, your y is equal to 0.
perfect. So when you are trying to get the y-intercept, um, Zira, you're correct. When you're trying to get the x-intercept, your y is equal to 0. And when you're trying to get the when you're trying to get your when you're trying to get your y-intercept, Langelitle, your x is equal to 0. So it's actually vice versa. For y-intercept, x is equal to 0. For x-intercept, your y is equal to 0, right? So in this case, you're going to do the very same thing that we said. So y is equal to 0 in this case, and x is equal to 0 in this case. X is equal to 0. So the next thing that you're going to be doing is to substitute the values, because you have the value of x and you also have the value of y in this case. So that means we're going to say, okay, our y is equal to 0 plus 1, and then in this case our 0, which is the y, is equal to x plus 1. Now we're going to solve for x. and this y. So we're gonna have your y is equal to 0 plus 1 is equal to 1. And then I said if you have 0 on this side, you can simply just take the number to the other side, because at the end of the day, if you have x is equal to y, it's the same as x is equal to y, right? Y is equal to x is the same as x is equal to y. All right, so you don't have to always take the x to the other side. So now let's take positive 1 to the other side. We're going to have a negative 1 is equal to positive x, because I said when it crosses an equal sign, changes the sign. If it's negative, it's going to become a positive. If it's positive, that means it's going to be a negative, right? So that means we have what? We have our coordinates basically, which is 0 and 1. So our first coordinate is going to be 0 and 1. And then our second coordinate is going to be minus 1. Hey, what happened? Eh, eh, mm. Is, let me try to write this. So that means we have posit minus 1 and 0. Okay, so now we're going to go to our Cartesian plane. So I'm going to use the very same Cartesian plane, but this is not what you're supposed to do. So everything on here it's supposed to be sketched on a new Cartesian plane, which is the same, right? Same set of axes for everything. So these, and this are supposed to be on one set of axes, right? But I'm just gonna draw it here if we had to draw it. I have 0 and 1. I also have negative 1 and 0. It's tough. Okay, so I have my positive 1 and 0, which is here, and I also have a positive. Oh no, it's a negative. It's a negative. Is it a negative, guys? I think I'm mixing these points. So I have 0 and 1 and minus 1 and 0. 0 and 1, not 1 and 0. 0 and 1, which is here. That is our positive 1. And we also have a minus 1 and 0. Yes, I was just trying to think. Okay, now we're gonna connect the dots. All right, let's use this color reddish over here. Let's bring the ruler. Let's connect the dots. What's that? I'm not connecting the wrong one. And this was gonna be my graph. And this is going to be my line. Y is equal to x plus 1. Do you see that? Do you guys see that?
Yes, ma'am, I see, ma'am.
Okay. And do we have any question on that?
No, ma'am.
I think the dual intercept method is quite simple. I'm not sure what you guys think, but I think this one doesn't need you to do like a lot of things. Basically, you're just trying to get the y-intercept and the x-intercept, and after that, you're gonna plot them on the graph, and then you connect the two dots, and then after that, you name your graph, and then you're done. I don't think there's a lot of work here, but let's look at another one. which is y is equal to x minus 2, and then the y-intercept would be y x is equal to 0, remember? Y is equal to 0 minus 2. And again, we're going to have our x-intercept. Y is equal to 0. 0, 0. And that means our 0 is equal to x minus 2, okay? And then your y is equal to minus 2, and your x in this case is equal to positive 2, because when you bring it to the other side, it's going to change the sign, it becomes a positive, right? Then we have a positive 2. So that means for here, we have 0 and minus 2 as our coordinates, and then our x-intercept, we have 2 and 0. So we have we have 0 and minus 2, and we also have a 2 and 0. So we have a minus 2, 0 and minus 2, which is going to be somewhere here. And then again, we have positive 2 and 0, which is there on the line. And then next thing, we're going to try to get our cola, and let's use this one. I got a computer. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. This is going to be our y is equal to, is it x minus 2? Yes, x minus 2. So you see, now you have your other graph using the dual intercept method. Do we have any question? Do we have any questions, Zira, Colin, and Langeliche? Do you guys have any question?
No, no.
No question, and okay. Any question? I'll have to end the lesson here. And if you have any question, you can always ask, and remember to send me your answers that you had, right? Are you guys still there?
What, ma'am?
Hmm?
What did you say right now?
I said, remember to send me the answers that you had so I can give them a look, and or maybe if you want to redo it, you can redo it and send the answers, but I want what you had initially, right? The answers. And then we'll take it from there. Okay. Did you get that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening and the weekend too. I'll see you guys next time when we meet. Bye.